वेलकम एवरीवन, कैसे हैं आप लोग? वेलकम अगेन टू MJ's Maths and Stats. That's MJ Magic Studio to you. I'm a host, your dost, and yes, again today in the ghost mode, Mohit Jain with top 30 aptitude question asked at Tech Mahindra hiring recruitment examination held between 22nd to 25th November 2020. Here are few of my favorites, 30 aptitude questions with detailed explanation, solution, and obviously concepts. We know concept is the queen and queen is the new king. So let's get started. But hey, stop. Just a sec. Before we start, don't forget to comment. Don't forget to answer the questions. Don't forget to give me a better solution to the question being portrayed in this particular video. The best comment, obviously, would get a surprise gift from us. And what it is? Watch the video till the end. Do solve these 30 questions and remember to comment, like, share, and give us answers which might be different, solution which might be different from what we have done. And don't forget to subscribe to the channel. First question first. In how many years a sum of rupees 20,000 at least double itself if the rate of compound interest is 10% per annum? With each question, I'll try to put in the concept also so that we are clear with that first, and then we can see that how easy it becomes for us to calculate things. It's about the doubling concept in case of compound interest. Doubling in compound interest means your sum of money will double itself. That means amount will become double of the principal amount. So can I say 2p is equals to p into 1 plus I to the power n? If I have invested p rupees, I'll get in return how much? 2p. And let I be the rate of interest and n be the number of years in which it will double itself. Okay, so from here we can see that 1 plus I to the power n is equals to 2. And we are looking out for the value of n. So n would be something like log 2 upon log of 1 plus I. Now, obviously, it becomes tedious for us to solve. But if we have scientific calculator, we can calculate this. We know the value of log 2. Log 2 is 0.30103. But what about log 1 plus I? I is 10%. That means we need value of log 1.1. We are not comfortable with this. Yes, we can solve using this if we have scientific calculators or log table with us. If not, then obviously we have MJCC, my cheat codes. And what is that cheat code? Here we will use rule of 72. This will give us the best approximate answer. Now what does rule of 72 says? That if money is invested at I, or you may also say it R percent per annum compound interest, then sum of money will double itself in 72 by R years. As simple as that. Okay, here R is equals to 10%. R is equals to 10%. That means sum of money which we have invested 20,000 will double itself in 72 by 10, that is 7.2 years. Now, what is the question? In how many years a sum of rupees 20,000 at least double itself? 7.2 years, it will be 40,000. That means by the end of 6 years, it is not 40,000. But by the end of 8 years, it is more than 40,000. So in this case, answer would be 8 years. The least number of years required to have your money at least double is 8 perfect years. In this case, we'll choose 8 years just by using rule of 72. You must be wondering, do we have some other rules also in compound interest? Yes, we have one more rule, which is rule of 113, which is used in tripling. Triple itself. Sum of money will triple itself in 113 by R years. If R is 10%, so it will triple itself in 11.3 years. So let's have a quick check with our dost, that is Mr. Calculator. I've invested 100 rupees at 10%, and I want to see what's happened after 11 years. 8. See, it has become more than double in 8 years. 9, 10, 11, and 12. See, now it's been triple itself. So by the end of 12 years, you will have at least tripling of your money. So these two rules are very handy and very useful. We can use it while calculating doubling or tripling effect under compound interest. I hope this is clear with all of us. Let's move on. Yes, no question on averages, it can't happen. But very simple question on averages were asked. Simple questions on arithmetic mean were asked, where you were just supposed to find summation x by n. Just add a few data and divide by the number of data. So majority of the screen have got one question at least which was based on this particular formula. Simply adding up the values given and dividing by the number of values. So why this question is being featured? Because again, this was not the simple AM type. So I've taken up three question, I guess, of this particular format, where ages are related, one people leaving the group, one people adapt in the group, what happened 10 years ago, 10 years after. So I think 3 questions are there in this top 30 list, and we'll do this one after another. And there's no trick as if to do these questions. It's all up to you that how we can visualize what's happening with numbers and just calculate it, and that's the easiest way. Let's see. 3 years ago, the average age of a family of 5 members was 17. That means we are at this point of time, this is 3 years ago, and we have 5 people in the family and average was 17. So total of all these 5 people would be 85, isn't it? Now, what will happen after 3 years? After 3 years means now, each one of them would be what? 3 more years older than their age 3 years ago, isn't it? So total of these 5 members should be 5 into 17 plus 3, all become 20, that is 100. This is what we are expecting, that if it was a family of 5 people, 3 years ago, the total was 85. Now the total should be 100. Next, after a baby is born, the average age of a family is same today. So it was like this. 3 years ago, the average age of the family of 5 numbers was 17 years. And what happened in this 3 year? That a baby is born. And because of that, the average of the family today is also 17. Now what? With 6 members in the family, average is 17. 6 into 17 is what? 102. What we were expecting, 100. What it is actual, 102. That means what? Why there is the difference? Why there is a difference of 2 years? Difference of 2 years is all because of the age of baby who was born during these 3 years, isn't it? What is the age of the baby? 2 years. A simple calculation, whatever way you want to do it. It's just we need to multiply 2-3 numbers, add, subtract, and we would be able to identify the difference. So we have 2 more on that featuring in this top 30 list. And you know the drill. If you want to solve it, first try to pause the video, solve it by yourself, and then look out for the solution. And if you have a better solution, put it in the comment box. You would be awarded for this. Watch out the video till the end for the surprise gifts. Yes, as said, this is for you all to try. Give a try. I'm putting up a, what we say, timer now. 30 seconds maybe. Read the question. Pause the video if you think you want more than 30 seconds. I'm putting up a timer for 30 seconds. And come back once you have solved this. I hope you must have followed the drill, isn't it? Let's see what it is. And do come up with some better responses. I love to see that. I also want to learn more. Every day we are learning. I want to learn more. A family of 6 members bought a car 6 years ago. There is a comma. Let me have a pause here. So 6 people and 10 years ago. So their average was A. So the total of 6 people was 6A 10 years ago. What's happening now? Now plus 10. There should be increase of plus 10 when age of everyone's, each single one would grow up by 10 years, isn't it? So the average would be A plus 10. So the new total ages should be 6A plus 60. Done. And had a road accident today in which one of the family members dies. This should be the total today, but one of the family members dies. Let it be B. So the new total today after the demise of this family member is 6A plus 60 minus B. The average age of the family at the time when they bought the car is same as of today. That means now the average is again A. How many members are there in the family today? There are 5 family. That means it should be equals to 5A, isn't it? That means what? A minus B should be equals to minus 60. That is B minus A should be equals to 60. This is what we end up with. What is the age of the member who passed away? What can be the value of B? Now with help of options we can very easily find that, isn't it? B minus A is a positive number. If B is 30, then A is not a positive number. A is the average, which should be positive. If B is 60, A would be 0, which is quite impossible. If A is 48, if B is 48, it is again a negative thing. If B is 72, we can have a positive value of A. Answer 72 fits in. I've seen every one of you, not everyone, even like many of my student who knows. So what I've seen that people were stuck in this question, and it was just a simple application of options into what we have. If B is 72, let me do this further. If B is 72, what is A? A is 12. Obviously it will fit in. Let average age was 12 10 years ago. So 10 years ago the total age was how much? 72. Now the age should be 72 plus 60, but a person is 72. passed away, so the ages total is 60. If I divide by 5 again, it becomes 12. We started with 12, we ended with 12, isn't it? Option D fits in. Answer is 72 years. Yes, I know you have done it correct. Yes, answer is 72 years. Good. Let's see one more on this one people coming in and going out stuff. I know you must have solved this and you must have got this answer correct. This is a sitter type of question, isn't it? But let's solve this with basic equation formation. Let's see what's happening. And then when that equation formation is there in front of us, we have solved it once in our life at least, in with help of equation. Whenever we solve this question again in some other aptitude test, isn't it? There we are not investing time, so it's always about practice. More practice you do, more quickly it would be easy for you to identify which process to fit in. So the average weight of 20 teachers is 80, so total would be 20 into 80, that is 1600. If the weight of the principal is added, I'm adding P to this. Now we have 21 members. The average decreases by 1. That means this new total is a total of 21 people, but average decreases by 1. That means average becomes 79. So P is simply 1600 minus 21 into 79. Can we just multiply this quickly? It is 9, 18, 7 is 25, 2, 14, 1659. So 1600 minus 1659. Okay, we are getting minus 59. How? Because I have put wrong signs here, isn't it? This is plus and this is minus. Pardon me for this. So this should be 59. What is the weight of principal? Principal is 59 kgs. We can easily calculate and find the values. Answer is 59, and yes, it is not 109. I know you have got it. Why I marked on 109? Because yes, I've seen people marking 109. I don't know how, but simple calculation gives us the value 59. Let's take up one more from compound interest and learn a concept in that. A bank lent rupees 1331 to a person on a compound interest rate for 3 years. So principal is 1331 for 3 years and got 1728 in return after 3 years. That must be the amount. What is the annual rate of interest charged by the bank? They are looking out for R. We know the formula in case of compound interest to find amount is P into 1 plus I to the power n. We know I is equals to R by 100. And n are in years here because we are assuming that rate of interest is compounded annually. We need to find the value of I. Okay. First of all, let us find A by P. That will be equals to 1 plus I to the power n. Fine. Then once we have this value, we need to find the nth root of this. Nth root of A by P, which will give us 1 plus I. Then we can frame the formula that I is equals to nth root of A by P minus 1. And when we require to find the value of R, we'll multiply this by 100. Now, it doesn't seem to be an easy task, isn't it? Because if n is 2, a normal standard calculator helps. But if n is 3, cube root, I don't think so it's possible with normal calculator. Yes, we have tricks to use that, but I'm just talking about standard on-screen calculator. Fourth root we can calculate, we can double press the square root and we can calculate, but what about 3? Sometimes people may end up taking log on both sides also, and then we can calculate I also. Let's see how. If I take log on both sides, I will have log of A by P divided by, or it will be n into log of 1 plus I, then again a tedious calculation. First take log and then anti-log, blah blah blah. Okay, so the best option out here is, can we put in just the options given to us and check with help of calculator. These are the three things available with us. Let's see what fits in our case. First, we need to find the value of A by P. A by P is 1728 by 1331. Now in aptitude, it's seen that somehow these number would be very easy, or would be giving us indication that, see, hello, hey, I can be calculated, please calculate me. Okay, it would be something like that. What is 1728? 1728 is 12 cube, isn't it? Let's check. 12 into 12 into 12 is 1728, isn't it? So it is actually 12 cube. And what is 1331? That's a smart thing to calculate, isn't it? It's 11 cube. That means A by P itself is 12 by 11 cube. Now life is becoming a bit easier for us in this case, isn't it? So 12 by 11 whole cube is equals to 1 plus I whole cube, because money is invested for 3 years. Now we have 12 by 11 equals 1 plus I equals 12 by 11 minus 1, that is 1 by 11. So R is 100 by 11, that is 1 by 11, we know how much in percentage, 9.09%. Option B fits in this case. So you might be prompted to pick up an option and then try, and I know you would be wasting your time. Just look at these figures. These figures would be very easy to calculate in these kind of aptitude tests. So believe on that. Learn cubes of at least number till 15, so you're not using calculator every now and then, and easily you can find answer. So I'll recommend learn squares, cubes at least till 15 cube if possible, and fractions to percentages. Those come very handy with this. You can watch out for our videos on grammar of mathematics, where we have discussed a lot about how to find squares quickly, cubes quickly, and how to learn 1 by 1 to 1 by 100 fractions in no time. The difference between the simple and compound interest. Okay, let me stop here for a while. We would be discussing difference between CI and SI. First thing, we know that obviously if a money is invested at compound interest, after the first year, we'll also start getting interest on the previous year interest accumulated. So obviously as year passes by, CI would be greater than SI. Then what are the three basic questions asked here? That is, for the first year both CI and SI are same. In that case, CI minus SI is 0. If we consider about 2 years, difference of 2 years would be, let us first calculate the CI. CI would be P into 1 plus I to the power 2 minus P. And SI for 2 years would be 2PI, where it's been assumed that principal is same in both the cases and interest rate is also same in both the cases. Money invested is also for the same time. So let us solve this. If I take common P, it will be 1 plus I square plus 2I minus 1 minus 2I. Minus 2I minus 1 gets cancelled out. So we are left with what? P into I square. Now you people should learn this and keep it with you as a formula. The difference between CI and SI for 2 years is P into I square. We know that what is I? I is R by 100. Now let's quickly calculate for 3 years. Delta 3 would be P into, let me write it directly, 1 plus I whole cube minus 1 minus 3i. 3i would be from the simple interest part, isn't it? 3pi is 3 years simple interest, and p into 1 plus i whole cube minus p is the compound interest. Let's solve this. This will be 1 plus I plus I square. Sorry, it would be 3i and 3i square plus I cube minus 1 minus 3i. Minus 1 with 1 gone, 3i with 3i gone. So we are left with pi square. Let me take I square common from here, and it will be I plus 3. Now, this should be remembered as a formula. So these are the three things which works basically in aptitude CI SI difference type of questions. For first year, difference between CI and SI is 0. For 2 years, difference between CI and SI, obviously CI would be greater than SI, is pi square. And for 3 years, if they have asked, we will use the formula pi square into I plus 3, where I is equals to R by 100. Now, let's get back to our question. The difference between the simple and the compound interest on the principal, here principal is 20,000. For 2 years, n is 2 years. At the rate 5% per annum, that means I is 5 by 100. They're asking about delta 2. So delta 2 is simply P into I square, that is 5 into 5 by 100 into 100, isn't it? Let's quickly solve this. 120, 20 gone. So how much money we have? We have 2,000. Sorry, I have taken 20,000. Let me remove 10 from here. So 00 gone. 20 into 5 is 100 gone. Left with 5. This is 5. So the difference would be rupees 5. So now, why this question been picked up is again the similar kind of logic behind it. It is again from the successive percentage changes, but this time there are 3 successive changes. So again, rule 3, net change we can use directly for 3 successive, and if all 3 are same, what will be the effect? First of all, what is the formula to find 3 successive changes in one go? It's x plus y plus z plus xy by 100 plus yz by 100 plus zx by 100 plus xyz by 100 square. So if I put x, this would give me what? X plus x is 3x plus x square, it would be 3x square by 100 plus x cube by 100 whole square. Okay, this is the net change. Now, my salary increases from rupees 100 to rupees 133.1. So what is the percentage increase in the salary? 133.1 minus 100 by 100 into 100. Since it is 100, we can simply identify it is 33.1%, and this 33.1% is the percentage which is very familiar to us. We are familiar with this thing. We are starting with 100 and we are ending up to a number. No need to use this much calculation. We can easily find that it is 33.1% increase, and we are familiar. Yes, it is 10%. We know that. Okay, so like 1.1 whole cube is 1.331. If we know the cube of 11, it is 33.1%, mean it has to be 10%. Or just put in x equals to 10 in the equation which we have derived and just check it out. So delta would be 3 into x, 3 into 10 would be 30 plus 3 into 10 is square by 100 plus 10 cube by 1000, 10,000. This will give us what? 3, and this will give us 0.1. So it is 33.1 using the same formula. But what if this number is not 100 and this number is not familiar to us with respect to the 100? First of all, we need to find the percentage change, and we can use the compounding formula also, like we can say 100 into 1 plus r by 100 to the power 3, because there is a 3 successive increment. This is equals to 133.1, and then we can try to identify the value of r. But yes, I'll again opt for option uses. I'll try to put in option. Maybe like I have taken 12, and once I have taken 12, maybe I'll end up getting a result which is more than 33.1%, obviously. So very easily I can opt for 10. If I have taken 19, or then value is more than 133.1, or value is more than 33.1%, obviously I need to work it out with the smaller percentage. But many a times in aptitude these figures are so familiar that we can easily identify what is the answer. But I'll suggest you to please use this net change. It will help us out. In compound interest also, this formula will help us out. If rate of compound interest is same for 3 consecutive years, this is always the interest. This is always the total interest collected in 3 years in compound interest. The same format can be used to calculate compound interest after 3 years. 3x plus 3x square by 100 plus x cube by 100 is square. Whole into p will give us the total compound interest also. That's why I've taken up this question, and I want you all to practice more questions on this. The height of a triangle is increased by 40%. Okay, we have a triangle. Height is h, which is now increased to 1.4h. What can be the maximum percentage increase in the length of the base? Obviously base will also increase. We need to find the maximum percentage change in base, so that the increase in area is restricted to a maximum of 60%. So this was B, now it has become B1, and then area of a triangle is what we know is half into base into height. So half into B1 into 1.4h minus half into B into h divided by half into B into h into 100 is the percentage increase in the area. Okay, this should not be more than 60%. That means this should be less than or equals to 60. Okay, so we can take half common and cancel out. We can see that B h is common, so we have 1.4 B1 minus B by B is less than equals to 0.6, and now we are stuck. We need to find the ratio. Okay, let's divide 1.4 into B1 by B. Minus 1 is less than equals to 0.6. So B1 by B is less than equals to 1.6 by 1.4. That is 8 by 7. So what can be the maximum percentage increase? Maximum percentage increase would be 1 by 7, isn't it? B1 is the final value upon B. So maximum percentage increase would be 8 by 7 minus 1. That is 1 by 7 in percentages, 14.28%. It can't be more than that. It would be less than that, but not more than that. If B increases by more than 1 by 7, then area change would not be restricted to maximum of 60%. This is what we use as the overall percentage change technique and everything. But hey, yes, I know you have got this correct. Why to use this? Why to use this? What is the area of the triangle? Area of the triangle is half into base into height. That means area is constant. We leave out the constant. Is multiplication of two numbers. And whenever we have this kind of aspect, what we can use is again rule 3, net changing rule. For two objects, x plus y plus xy by 100 will give us final change in area, where maybe like x is base and y is height. So let's take percentage change in base to be x, and percentage change in base is 40%, plus 40x by 100 is equals to maximum of 60. x plus 2x by 5 is 7x by 5 equals 60 minus 40 is how much? 20. 7x is 100. X equals to 100 by 7 in percentages, that is 14.28%. Use net changing rule straight away, directly you will have answer in 5 seconds. 14.28%. Now, why this question is featuring in top 30? It's all because in all these 4 days, many questions come across us that these kind of questions are being asked on different screen and such. And 99% of the question was from arithmetic. Now, what was this 1% like? 1%, I've found few questions from numbers, straight away numbers, HCF, LCM, something like this is asked. And I picked up 2 questions from there. And so I'm featuring both the 2 questions here in this video, and let's do it. If the sum of 2 numbers, that is like a plus b, and the difference of the 2 numbers, a minus b, are in the ratio 8:5, find the ratio of the numbers. We need to find a by b. Okay, we can solve this. We can do like 5a plus 5b equals 8a minus 8b. So this will go there, it will come here. 13b equals to 3a. So a by b is 13 by 3. So 13:3 is the answer. We can solve, we can multiply across, and we can solve and find a by b. Or simply, yes, you got it correct, use the concept of componendo and dividendo and get it in one single step, isn't it? We know what is componendo dividendo. If like a1 by b1 is equals to a2 by b2, we can say a1 plus b1 upon a1 minus b1 equals a2 plus b2 upon a2 minus b2, or the other way around also. So if we use componendo dividendo here, a plus b plus a minus b would be giving us 2a, and a plus b minus a plus b would be 2b. So it would be simply 8 plus 5, that is 13, upon 8 minus 5, that is 3, and straight away we can mark the answer. That's why it's been taken up. It's look like a number system question. It's pure componendo dividendo in proportion, ratio proportion, which we can use. Let's see one more. Yes, as said, one from LCM, it come across, so I thought of putting it up. It should be there, isn't it? The ratio between 2 numbers is 3:4. That means the 2 numbers are 3x and 4x if I take common ratio x, and the LCM is 180. So out of this, a number is 3 into x and 4 into x. X is the common factor, isn't it? So what would be the LCM? LCM would be x into the 2 prime to each other numbers left. So LCM should be 12x, and that is equals to 180. We can find the common factor. Common factor is 180 by 12, that is 15. So the 2 numbers are 3 into 15 is 45, and 4 into 15 is 60, whose LCM would be 180. What is the smallest of the number? 60? No, 45. And see, it's very first instant the mistake. We are reading that was the smallest number, but we have read here 60 comes at the second place, and as soon as I see 60, I was also tempted to mark 60. But yes, answer is not 60, it's 45. Yes, we know that. So it was a simplest of the number system question which was asked, and it came across me, so I thought of putting up and featuring up in this top 30 these thing also. Okay, so please stick with us and watch the video till the end, because we have quite a good handful of giveaways for you, where like you can send us a better solution. If you have, you can send in good comments, appreciate our work, join us, and every appreciation would be obviously gratified. So watch the video till the end. It's required so that you come to know what are the different things which we are planning. Averages and percentages. Bloodline live wire of TechM examination. Out of 10, you won't believe it's like average percentage ratio asked in each questions. Somehow we need to use it. And that's why they are featuring in our top 30 list. Mimi scores 70% more marks in physics than in chemistry. Okay, so she scores C in chemistry, then she must have scored how much in physics? 70% more marks means 1.7 C. Fine. However, chemistry paper was for 100 marks. Okay, this was out of 100. And physics paper was for 300 marks. This was out of 300. Mimi gets 162 marks in both. Bingo. We have completed this. 162, sorry. So C plus 1.7 C is 2.7 C is 162. C is 162 by 27. So let me make it 10 by 27. Okay, 3 is 5, 4. And this is 3 into 9. So that is 3 cancel, 9, 6. So Mimi's score is 60 in chemistry. So C scores 60 out of 100. And 70% more. 70% of 60 is 42. C score 102 in physics. Done. Percentages, fractions, convert into decimal and then solve. This makes this sum really very easy and interesting to solve, isn't it? If Mimi gets 162 marks in both, what is her percentage in chemistry? Bingo. We have it straight away. 60 out of 100 means 60% score in chemistry. No measuring devices required. That's why there's some features here. Okay, let's take up one more. Straight away simple question from joint ratio, and why I picked up and why is this my choice, you will come to know, because of the tedious time and calculation involved in it. But I'll not do it in that particular manner. I'll just use the ratio format and percentage to fractions, so you can see that how quickly and easily we can do that. We have 4 people, D, R, B, U, D, R, B, U. W. Okay. Works for a company. During performance appraisal, D's hike is 10% less than R. So if R hike is 10 rupees, it's 10% less than R. D hike would be 9. So the ratio of D's hike and R's hike is 9:10. This is how we should be converting it into fractions and ratio and see that how quickly we can be able to do these joint ratio kind of sum. R's hike is 33.33% more than that of B. We should know what is 33.33%. 33.33% means 1/3. 1/3 more. Let's start with 3 at B. So if there is 3 rupees hike for B, it is 1/3 more. 1/3 of 3 is 1. That means R's hike is 4 rupees as related to B. Okay, so it is 4:3. Now, B's hike is 16.67. 16.67 is how much in fraction? 1/6. Less than that of U. So, okay, I will start with 6 for U. Let increase in U's salary is 6 rupees. Then 1/6 is 1. B's hike would be 1 less than 6. That would be 5. So, these are the corresponding ratios. If we can calculate this in no time, yes, we can do that. We can join it up very quickly. Now, what is the question? Read the question before you do anything on this. What is U's hike? I need U's hike. If D's get a hike of 10,000. Okay, so what we need is, we need the ratio between these two. And we know the drill. when we are joining up, ratio for D is multiplication of these three, and ratio of U is multiplication of these three. That's it. This is a question of compound ratio. We have joint ratio concept coming in, compound ratio concept coming in, and all this thing we have done in rule 5 when we have taken RPV under discussion. Okay, so D is 945 and U is 1036. So what is the ratio? Now D's hike is 10,000. I can equate this with 10,000, and let's find the hike for U. 3 times 3, 3, 2. Okay, 5, 4 is 20, and this is 20 again. This ratio is actually 1:1. X is equals to 10,000 again. So what is U's hike? That is equals to D's hike. Rupees 10,000. Or you may also use compound ratio. Like you need to find D by U. It is D by R into R by B into B by U. You'll end up getting 1:1. Compound ratio or joint ratio, corner ends multiplication always gives us the corner variables ratio. Use it. Rule 5. Rules are the kings. Whether it is like 10 question in an aptitude test or 30 question in an aptitude test, arithmetic 50%. Even if you are writing CAT, arithmetic 50% of the questions are from arithmetic, and those topics are actually average, percentage, profit and loss, mixtures, time and work, time, speed, distance, sometimes interest. That's it. If you can clear up your arithmetic part itself, you would be clearing up the cutoff in any aptitude test, believe me. And in tech test, in TechM test, 99% of the questions were from arithmetic, isn't it? So let's see why this is special, and then simple question, but it's forming part of our top 30. A box contains 600 coins of 25 paise denomination and 1200 coins of 50 paise denomination. If 12% of 25 paise coins and 24% of 50 paise coins are removed, okay, subtracted, removed, what will be the approximate percentage of money removed from the bag? So initially we need the initial money in the bag. So 25 paise is 1/4 of a rupee and 50 paise is half of a rupee. We can use fractions to ease our calculation, isn't it? 600 into 1/4 will give me 150 rupees, and 1200 into half will give us 600 rupees. So initially bag have 750 rupees. Now 12% of 25 paise coins, 12% of 600 is what? 72 coins removed. 72 into 1/4 is 18 rupees removed. Next, 24% of 1200 removed. Okay, this many coins removed. I just multiply half here to get the rupee value. No need to multiply this initially. So it would be 12 into 12, 144 rupee value removed as far as 50 paise coins are concerned. So 144 plus 18 is 162 removed. What will be the approximate percentage of money removed from the bag? We are talking about percentage of money removed, that is 162 out of how much? 750 into 100. 25 4 times, 25 is 30 times, so 3 is 5 and 4, so we have 16 and 1, 20, 21 by 10. 21.6% of the money is removed. Option B fits in this particular situations. So why it's been selected is all because of the tedious calculation. We can ease our calculation with help of fractions, and how quickly you can multiply percentages. That's all depend upon your practice. So I worked it out slowly, but you can increase your speed. You have better speed when you have percentage to fractions and fractions to percentages well understood and known to you. Okay, so acute percentage question featuring in top 30. Why I don't know, but okay, I feel like putting up this question, so I've selected this. A simple question for percentage, which should not take reading time plus 10, 15 seconds max. Mr. Sam earns 20% more than Suzanne. So we have Sam and Suzanne. As far as income is concerned, Mr. Sam earns 20% more than Suzanne. So if Suzanne is earning like 100, Mr. Sam would be earning 120. And spends 10% more than Suzanne. So as far as expenditure is concerned, if Suzanne expenditure is 100, Sam's expenditure is 110. If Suzanne saves 6,000, okay, so we need to take this as X. Let's make this X and make this Y. So what we have, let's make it like this. So savings means income minus expenditure. 10x minus 10y is equals to 6,000. From her income of 60,000, okay, income is given, that means 10x is given as 60,000. One thing is clear here, that value of x is 6,000. So 10x is 60,000. So 10y would be 60,000 minus 6,000, that is 54,000. So value of y is also with us, that is 5400. Done. How much does Mr. Sam save? Mr. Sam's savings would be how much? 12x minus 11y according to the data selected by us. X is 6,000. So 6 into 12 would be 72,000. So 11 into 5400 is what is the expenditure of Sam. 54 into 11 would be 59400 minus 59400. So 72 minus 60 would be 12 and then 600. So it is 12,600. So how much does Sam save is 12,600. Option D is the correct answer. And you know why I've taken up this question? Because I've seen people marking on 12,000, I've seen people marking on 13,900, and how it's just maybe like you haven't read the question carefully. So be careful with these things. Correct answer is 12,600. Arithmetic and rule book of arithmetic. Rule 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8. I'll tell you these 8 rules would be like something killer rules. And that's why these questions, many people think that yes, these questions are so easy. Yes, these questions are easy. If you know the concept, any question is easy. Ask those who don't know these concepts. A shopkeeper was supposed to appreciate the price of a product by 5% every month. Instead of doing appreciation, he depreciated it by 5% every month and sold it for rupees 4512.50 after 2 months. We know the drill for this, isn't it? Suppose initial price was P, but he uses 5% decrement or depreciation every month. So his recovery in the first month is 95%. Again, his recovery in the second month is 95%. And this gives us 4512.50. With this, we can very easily calculate the value of P. So it would be 19 by 20, and it would be also 19 by 20. So we have 19. Can we divide 4512.50 by 19 and 19? Yes, let's see. So we have 4512.5 divided by 19 and into 400 is 5,000. Great. So initial price was 5,000. This was the price of the product. What is the total loss that he incurred with respect to the expected value of selling? Now, what was expected value? Expected selling price was 5,000 into 5% increase. Can I say it as 105 by 100? And then 5% increase, 105 by 100. So it is like 21 by 20 and 21 by 20. 0, 0. Let's cancel this out. So what we have is 50 into 21 divided by 4. Bingo. 5512.5. It should be 5512.50. This should be the expected selling price, but the selling price at which he had sold this is 4512.50. So loss to him is 5512.50 minus 4512.50, that is rupees 1000. Option C fits in. I know it's clear with you. We can use calculator and do it in no time. But as you can see, with each question we are trying to explore concepts, the way this can be done in more stylish way, more better way, or something like it should come as a style. I always believe in solving questions. It's some bit of glamour attached to it, isn't it? So he was supposed to appreciate it 5% 2 times. So what is the net change? I'll again use my rule 3. Let's see how we can use it, or whether we can use it or not. So net change, if he was supposed to increase 5% 2 times, it would have been how much? 10.25% up the base price. But this is what was expected. But what he actually did, let me write actually did was minus 5, minus 5. Minus 5 into minus 5 is plus 25 by 100. So it would be minus 10 plus 0.25, that is minus 9.75. This was P. I was supposed to go and reach at this point, that is 10.25% more than P. But I actually reached where? I reached here, which is 9.75% less than P. That means what is the difference? Difference is 10.25 plus 9.25 of P. That is, difference is 20% of P. Loss is 20% of P. Fine. And what is 4515.50? That is recovery at this point. This point is 4512.50 and I need 20%. So straight away I can calculate loss now. Loss is 4512.50 divided by 90.25 into 20. That's it. If you are good at calculation, use your calculation skills, or if you are good at using on-screen calculator, now see how quickly we can use it. In just one use of calculator, we have 4512.5 divided by 90.25 into 20. Bingo, 1000. Answer. Rule book is the queen and queen is the new king. Let's take up one more. Yes, a simple question featuring on our top 30 list of fractions. In an exam, if 3/8 student pass the exams, so passing people are 3 by 8, and 6 by 11 student failed are 6 by 11, and the rest. Now, let me calculate the rest. Rest should be 1 minus 3 by 8 minus 6 by 11. That is LCM 88. 88 minus 33 minus 48 is 88 minus 81, and 81 by 88. That gives me 7 by 88. As a fraction, these many are the rest who were absent. Then what is the ratio absent students? Absent, these were absent. Absent student is 7 by 88 is to total students. Total student is 1. Just if you are talking fraction, total students are 1. So this is what? 7 is to 88. Done. Simplification, simple questions with help of fractions. But instead of writing all these in fractions and using fraction in finding out the rest people, can't we do it this by simply finding out the LCM of these two? Isn't it? 8 and 11 is 88. Just start with the number itself. Numbers always help. I hope you have understood both the meaning of these things. Okay, anywhere you go, numbers always help. So 3 by 8 into 88 will give me 3 into 11, 33. Pass the examination. 6 by 11 into 88, 6 into 8, 48. Failed. 88 is the total. 8, 3, 11, 7, 18, 1, 0. So absent were 7. Ratio of absent is to total. 7 is to 88. Bingo. We have answer without pen paper. Even without that, you can find the answer. That's why it featured, yes, a simple question done with a style. I've seen many of you commenting like, oh, what an easy paper, what easy questions do we have? But with as they move on day by day, they started picking up questions from previous year CAT examinations. Same question featured in 2017 CAT examination, and it was there in Tech M exam. Why I have selected this question is all because of that. In the entire video, you will see that there are 4 to 5 questions of previous year CAT examination, be it 1998, 99, 2003, 2005, 2017. They are picked up questions. Same question they are picked up. And that these questions all featured on the last few slots. They aren't easy. If you don't know the process, you don't know how to use calculators, you don't know how to use on-screen calculators, you don't know the concept, it will be so tedious for us to do that. Sitting in front of the screen, looking at the question, and you're panicking. That's why these questions are there. Do it. And the only mantra is, don't panic. That won't help. It had helped no one. And never judge a question. This question is easy, this question is tough. It's always comparative. A question which is tough to you may be easy for me. A question which is easy for you may be tough for some other people. Give respect to question, because you never know when on screen you will start getting something which we don't know. So that's why I'm featuring all those kinds of questions, and it's an humble request. Respect questions and don't judge them. Pick up a pencil, take a paper, and solve it. A shopkeeper increases the selling price of his article by 10% and then reduces it by 10%. Again he does the same thing, means same round of increasing the price by 10% and then decreasing it by 10%. Finally, the selling price of the articles come down to this much. What was the original selling price? Okay, so let the original selling price was P. So we can write that P into, first is what increased by 10%. So that would be 100 plus 10 by 100. Then it was reduced by 10% into 100 minus 10 by 100. Then it was again increased 100 plus 10 by 100. Again decreased 100 minus 10 by 100. This equals to the final selling price, that is 1944.75. I'm using the basic formula, that CP into 100 plus minus loss or profit by 100 is equals to the selling price. And now we have continuous 4 changes, which gives us this selling price. So P into 11 by 10 into 9 by 10 into 11 by 10 into 9 by 10 will give us 1944.75, and rest of the work leave it on the on-screen calculator. As simple as that. No need to calculate. But you also need to know that how to use it, isn't it? One first frame of information should be there. Then only we would be able to use it. So here is my dost. Let me clear it up. So we have 1944.75 into 10. How many times? 4 times. 1, 0, 0, 0, 0. Done. Now we need to divide this by 11, then again by 9, then again by 11, then again by 9, and we end up getting 1984.23. 1984.23 or 24, and that features in option A. To show you the use of calculator, and directly also we can make use of calculator once this concept is clearly there with us. Increasing 10% means multiplying by 1.1. Recovery more of 10%, and decreasing 10% means recovery is of only 90%. When it is increasing by 10%, we have a recovery of 1.1, and when we are decreasing by 10%, recovery is of 90%, that is multiplying by 0.9. Now we can use this calculator directly. Just read the question. Just read the question and see how you can answer in 4, 5, 6 seconds. We have our dose now. Clear it up. Final price 1944.75. Here just keep on dividing. Divide 1.1, divide by 0.9, then again divide by 1.1, divide by 0.9, and we end up getting what? 1984.24. Answer in 3 seconds. Yes, we can use the continuous change method also using the net change method. But in this case, if calculator is there, I won't prefer using net change. I would ask you to use calculator if calculator is there. If on-screen calculator is not there in any of the questions, if what we would be doing, how we can use our net change formula in this case. So we have 10 minus 10, 10 and minus 10. 10 and minus 10 effect is minus 1. 10 and minus 10 effect is minus 1. Minus 1 effect is how much? Minus 2 plus 1 by 100. So that would be minus 2 plus 0.01. That is minus 1.99%. That means this particular figure is actually 100 minus 1.99%, that is 98.01%. So what would be the original price? 1944.75 divided by 98.01%. Now calculate it, and you will end up having a good tedious calculation. Let's do this again with the help of calculator. Yes, 1944.75 divided by 0.9801 is 1984.24. 1984.24. But calculator is not available with us. So it would be like 2%, it can be 98%, and then try to figure out which option would fit in. We can use option elimination in that case if we don't have calculator. 2002% is 40. So it would give us 1960. It is not 1960. If it is not 2000, it cannot be 2500. It cannot be 2148. So only option left with us is 1984.24. From here itself, we can mark this if these kinds of options are given. So 3 different ways explored, and that's why it features in this particular video. I hope this will be of use to you. Again, an interesting question from ratios and inverse ratios, and I've seen people again making a silly mistake here because they are again not reading it correctly. Divide 5390 into 3 parts. Let the 3 parts be x, y, z. So x plus y plus z is equals to 5390 in such a way that half of the first part, 1/3 of the second part, y by 3, that is 1/3 of the second part, and 1/6 of the third part is in ratio 2:3:6. Now, I've seen people making mistakes. They have taken x is to y is to z at 2:3:6. No dear, this is 2:3:6. Half of the first part is to 1/3 of the second part and 1/6 of the third part, where in the ratio of 2:3:6. That means x by 2 upon y by 3 was in the ratio of 2 by 3. That leads us to what? X by y into 3 by 2 equals 2 by 3. X by y was how much? 4 by 9. And then y is to z, if you'll calculate, y by 3 upon z by 6 is equals to 3:6. We'll again end up getting y by z is 3, or you can make it 1 by 4. It is 1 by 16. Or 3 squared, 9 by 36. To make it easy. So x is to y is to z is actually 4:9:36. This is the duplicate ratio which's been used. And that is the concept to be used here. Duplicate ratio concept. We can see that x by a is to y by b is to z by c is equals to a is to b is to c. Then x is to y is to z is the duplicate ratio of the ratio given, that is a square is to b square is to c square. If we know this concept, we would have got this correct in no time. Now x is to y is to z is a square is to b square is to c square, that is 4:9:36. You can check this. X by 2, that is 4 by 2 would be 2. Y by 3, 9 by 3 would be 3. Z by 6, 36 by 6 would be 6. That would be in the ratio 2:3:6. So ratio of x is to y is to z is not 2:3:6. It is duplicate ratio of 2:3:6. That is 4:9:36. Now what is the second part? Second part is 9 out of how much? 49. So second part, that is y, should be equals to 9 by 49 into 5390. How many times it will go? 1 times 49, again 1 time, and again 0. So it would be 990. Second part is 990, that is option D. And you people have judged these questions like anything. You know what? If you use 2 is to 3 is to 6, then the second part would be 3 by 11. Okay, and let's see what would be the answer. 5390 divided by 11 is 490, into 3 is how much? 1470. And you know what? 1470 also features in one of the option. And I've seen people ticking on option C. Option D is the correct answer. Hold on till the end of the video. You will see amazing results and amazing type of answers. And then try to concentrate on the questions, give respect to the question, and solve accordingly. The entrance ticket at the Opera Theatre is worth rupees 250. Okay, initially price is rupees 250. When the price of the ticket is lowered, now the new price is P2. The sale of tickets increased by 50%. Let the initial sale was 10 tickets. Now the new sale would be 10 plus 50% of that. It should be 15 tickets, isn't it? While the collection record a decrease of 17.5%. So collection means what? Collection is P1 into S1. So initially it was 2500. Now the new collection would be what? New collection is 17.5% less than the old one. That means recovery is only of, if I deduct 17.5 from 100, it would be 82.5%. Okay, so how much it is? 2500 into 0.825. It's 2062.50. 2062.50 is the new collection. So we can easily find the value of new price. New price should be C2 by S2. That is 2062.50 by 15. So now let's see what my dost is telling me. 2062.5 divided by 15 is 137.5. That's the new price. Find the deduction in the ticketed price. So deduction is 250 minus 137.50. Isn't it? 112.50 is the deduction in the ticketed price. It should be option B. The easiest way around is to pick up few values. Here we have identified that 10 and 15, and then just follow the norms given in the question and use it. If I have taken 100 and make it 150, then also I would have landed with the same result. But the thing is, don't we have some actual real process to solve these kinds of questions? Do we have that? Now let me try our rule 3 from the rule book, that is net changing rule, which says effect would be equals to x plus y plus xy by 100 with the respective signs. Here effect is decrease of 17.5%, so I'll put it at minus 17.5. X is increase in the sales, that is 50%. Y may be the decrease in the price, minus y, minus 50y by 100. So minus 67.5 is minus 150y by 100. Cancel out. This is 3 times, this is 2 times. So y is 67.5 into 2 divided by 3. That would be 22.5. That is 45% deduction in the price of the tickets. As simple as that. 45% fall in ticket price. So what is the new ticket price? New price is 250 into 55%. Yes, I'll show it to you. 250 into 55% is 137.5. Correct? Then the question asks is what is the deduction? We can calculate it here itself. 250 into 45% is the deduction in prices. That would be 112.50. That's why I've chosen this question. That I've seen many of you picking up numbers and solving. Fine. But yes, we do have a concept to solve these kind of questions. Please follow Rule 3, net changing rule, and we may get solutions in no time. Here we have product of two units giving us the impact on the third one. We have taken help of two consecutive changes on an object to find the final change. Now this special question from profit and loss has been taken up, and I've taken a similar kind of question also because I've seen these two questions making rounds on many screens in this particular test. That's why it's been featured. And we can solve these kind of questions so easily in no time using rule 4. Let me first mark this. We'll use rule 4. The name of the rule is debt rule. Yes, you must be wondering now what is this rule book where we can get all the rules. At the end of the video, I'll give you all the rules, the name of all the rules, and what is there in a nutshell to summarize everything which we did in arithmetic in this particular video. With arithmetic, I'll give you the names of all 7-8 rules that we do in arithmetic rule book. Fine. So let's see the question first. A greedy shopkeeper sells 18 items at a price equal to his purchase price of 21 items. That means let CP of 21 items is like rupees X. Then CP of one item is X by 21. Now it's given that selling price of 18 article is also same. So selling price of 18 items is rupees X again. So selling price of one item is X by 18. So we need to find profit or loss. Obviously there is profit. He's selling less item at the same price. So profit percentage, as we know, is SP minus CP by CP into 100. So we have 21x minus 18x is 3x by 18 into 21 into 21 by x into 100. 21 cancel, x cancel, 3 by 18 gone 6 times. So we have 100 by 6. 1 by 6 is 16.67%. So option D fits in. Simple way to solve. Fine. But where rule 4 comes into picture, just see that if we know our rule 4, debt rule, so correctly, we can solve this entire thing in 4 seconds. See how? If CP of A items is P and SP of C items is Q, then profit or loss percentage is simply AQ minus PC by PC into 100. That's it. Now see, with this particular rule, how quickly we can do that. CP of 21 items is 1 rupee. Suppose SP of 18 items is also 1 rupee. Profit percentage is 21 minus 18 by 18 into 100. This is 3. 3 by 6 we have. 100 by 6 is 16.67%. Debt rule rules, believe me. And I've taken one more question where we can use debt rule, and let's see that. Yes, as you can see, this is again example of rule 4, our debt rule, and this time I would be calculating straight away with the debt rule. The cost price of 20 articles, CP of 20 articles, is same as the selling price of X article. Same as selling price of X article. Let us take this as 1 to ease our calculation, isn't it? If the profit is 25%, we know the drill. It is 20 minus X by X into 100 is equals to 25. Now you will tell me how quickly we can do this, isn't it? 80 minus 4x is equals to x. Therefore, x is equals to 80 by 5, that is 16. Since I'm writing, I'm taking up time, but when you will do, you can do it in 4 to 5 seconds. Believe me, have faith on that rule. A, B, C, Q. It is something like finding the value of the determinant, isn't it? Principal diagonal minus secondary diagonal by secondary diagonal into 100. Stick to the end of the video where I'll give you the list of all the rules which we practice in our live sessions. You can also join them. We'll have that WhatsApp number displayed. Call us, message us, and join the sessions. Every question have its own importance, and you need to be very strong concept wise. I'm talking to the question actually. This question need to be very strong with the concept wise to feature in my list of top 30, isn't it? Now why it's so, we will see. A sum of rupees 360 was divided among a group of 96 students in such a way that each boy get 2.40 and each girl got 4.80. That means we have two equations to solve. B plus G is 96 and boy is getting 2.40. That means 2.40B plus 4.80 girls would be the total money distributed. It should be equals to 360. So we have two linear equations and we need to solve it. We can do that. We can do this with substitution also directly, or we can multiply the first equation with 2.4. Let's do that. 2.40b plus, okay, the question is number of girls, so multiplying by 2.4, the first equation would be directly giving us the value of g. 2.40g is 96 into 2.4. 96 into 2.4 is 230.4. So if I subtract these two, I'll get 2.40g equals, okay, 130, 129.6. So number of girls would be 129.6 by 2.4. Again, I need help of my dost. So we have 129.6 divided by 2.4. It gives us 54. So number of girls are 54. First options fit in. Good. Now you may ask that it was a simple linear equation. Why? What was great in it? Yes, great in it was, can you see that I've used my dose 3 times. I've used this once here to multiply 96 into 2.4. Good. And then I've used it here, 129.6 divided by 2.4. And now I have got only the value of g. If I need to find the value of b, I need to put this value again in this equation. So that will give me b equals to 96 minus 54, that is 42. Done. Now, yes, you got it correct. Why can't we use rule 6? Yes, jungle rule. And this time is all in concept of the lion. So we will use all in concept of the lion along with butterflies, and we'll try to see that whether we can use our butterfly diagram, the lion concept, in solving these kind of questions also or not. So we have 96 people. Okay, if all of them are boys, then the money they will have is 96 into 2.4. And if all are girls, money they will have is 96 into 4.8. Okay, but the money distributed is 36. I just need one help here. What 360 divided by 96 is how much? 3.75. So actually 360 is 96 into 3.75. Let's use the cross diagram. 96 into, it would be 25 paise and 80 paise, 105 paise. And this would be 96 into, and 75 paise plus 60 paise is 135 paise. So the ratio of boys and girls is 21:27, or we can dilute it further, 7:9. Now the number of girls would be 9 by 16 into 96. Correct? 16 into 6 is 96, 9 into 6 is 54. There are 54 girls. Batsman number 10 hitting a 6 and Virat Kohli hitting a 6. What will come in news? You know it yourself. This Rule 6 jungle rule is known as style. Style in aptitude. Now, how much style you want to follow, it's all up to you. Let's take up another one. If 12 men can do a piece of work in 40 days by working 8 hours a day, how many men will it take to do 10 times the amount of work if they work for 4 hours per day for 15 days? So, this is a clear question from time and work. And when we talk about variables associated in time and work, we can see that we have got 3 types of variable, M, W and T. M stands for men or machines or the workers who would be working on that particular work. W is the amount of work done, and T is the time. Time may be again bifurcated in days, hours, minutes, years, months, whatever it is. So let me have the notation for time as D and H. Then we know that with the relationship these different variables have with each other, M1, D1, H1 by W1 is equals to M2, D2, H2 by W2. I famously call it MDH masala concept in case of time and work. And this we should know as the basic concepts in time and work. This is the relationship among all the variables associated in case of time and work question. MDH, M1, D1, H1 by W1 equals M2, D2, H2 by W2. We need to be very sure that units of measurement of these M, these D, H and W all should be same. Then only these units of measurement would be cancelling out and we will end up getting some result. So now in this particular situation given, what we have about M, we have 12 men who can do a piece of work is 1 in this case, in 40 days by working 8 hours per day. How many men will it take? We need to identify M2 to do 10 times the amount of work. Let work is now 10. If they work for 4 hours a day, 4 hours for 15 days, days is 15. Now if we can just plug in these values in this formula, in this basic relationship formula, we can very easily find the value of M2, isn't it? So let's do it. So what we will have, 12 into 40 into 8 by 1 equals M2 into 15 into 4 by 10. Okay, 4 3 times 12 gone. Then we have 5 3, 5 2, 3 3 gone. Therefore, M2 is 40 into 8 into 2. 16 into 4 is 64 and 0. So we need 640 men to do this kind of work in 15 days working at 4 hours per day. 640, option C is the answer. But we should know this MDH masala concept in time and work, which gives us the relationship among all the variables associated in questions related to time and work. Another question, which is again my favorite from this 3-4 days venture of Tech Mahindra. Why it is favorite, I'll discuss that. 3 pipes A, B and C can fill a tank in 30 minutes, B in 480 minutes and C in 420 minutes, respectively, working alone. If all the pipes are opened simultaneously, then how long will it take for the tank to be full? These three are working together now. And we know the drill for finding out if 3 people are working together. If 3 people they take A, B, C time, then if 3 people are working together, the time taken by them would be ABC upon AB plus BC plus CA. That's it. And believe me, I've seen people taking up A as 300, B as 480, C as 420 and taking use of their dost, that is a standard calculator, on-screen calculator, and wasting time. What would have been the smart process? I can give you 2 processes and both are commonly used processes, but I've seen people not very active with using these 2 processes. First is, look at these minutes. These are nothing but all divisible by 60. So 300 minutes when divided by 60 is 5. So make it 5 hours. 480 by 60 is 6 into 8 is 48, 8 hours. 420 by 60, 42 by 6 is 7 hours. Now if you want to use this process, if you want to use this method, use it with 5, 8, 7, which would take less time, isn't it? I'm solving it out with very beginner type processes so that this video reach out and is comfortable to many of us. Let's do this with 5, 8 and 7. So in the numerator, we'll have 5 into 8, 40. 40 into 7 is 280. By AB, 5 into 8 is 40. Plus BC, 8, 7 is 56. And CA, 7, 5 is 35. This is 280 by 96 and 100. And the denominator is 40 plus 56 is 96 plus 5 is 101. So we have 131 hours. Now answer is all in minutes. Now it's easy to calculate. With calculator if you want to use, no problem. Into 60 you can get it in minutes. We have our dost with us. So we have 280 into 60 divided by 131. That is 128.24. 128.24 minutes. So let us see then how long will it take the tank to be full. It should be 128 plus minutes, but 128 is given. We'll mark on 128. Simple. Convert them into hours and then solve instead of taking this use number. Or process number 2, and we know that is related to rule 8, that is our CM rule. This is just to ease this calculation. That's it. In this case, these both methods would consume the same amount of time. Why? Because 5, 8 and 7 are co-primes to each other. When we have these numbers which are co-primes to each other, your fast method of LCM or the basic methods, both will consume the same amount of time, believe me. If someone says that CM method or LCM method is the king, no. According to me, this rule is the queen. And we do not do anything wrong with our queen, isn't it? Keep your queen always happy. Queen is the new king. Okay, let's move on. In case of 5, 8, 7, since these are co-primes to each other, LCM would be just 5 into 8 into 7, isn't it? LCM would be just 5 into 8 into 7. That has to be 28. Now, 5 into 8 into 7, 280. 280 divided by 5, we'll end up with 56. 280 divided by 8, we'll end up with 35. 280 divided by 7, we'll end up with 40, 1, 6, 10, 13. Same thing we end up with. So this method also lead us to 131 in the denominator and 280 in the numerator. When divided, will give us how much time will A, B and C take while they are working together. So I have discussed both the processes, giving you the hint that whenever these are prime numbers, prime to each other rather, not prime numbers always, prime to each other, then the basic concept or our rule 8 CM rule, both will consume same time. You may use any method, but don't start with 300, 480 and 420. Convert them into hours, bring them into the smaller numbers and then solve. I hope this piece of information and guidance will help you out in solving easy questions in no time actually. These are easy, but I've seen people consuming greater amount of time. And yes, I've seen people marking on 131. I don't know how. 131 is in the denominator, how we are marking 131. And somehow, maybe by mistake, I've seen people marking 123 also. But correct answer in this case, as we have seen, our dosts have told us, is 128.24. We should mark on 128 minutes. Okay, let's move on. Okay, yes, we are back to time and work. No aptitude test can ever happen without time and work question, isn't it? Arithmetic सूना हो जाएगा समय और कार्य ना पूछा जाए तो. Working together, A and B can complete a piece of work in 12 days. B and C completes the same piece of work in 15 days. If A is twice efficient as C, that means if C takes, or if A takes A days to complete the work alone, C will take 2A days to complete the work alone. And let B takes B days to complete the work alone. Now what we have, working together, A and B completes the piece of work in 12 days. So first equation what we'll have, we know the addition equation. When we are adding up to time, we are using product by sum while we are adding up. So first equation we will have is AB upon A plus B is equals to 12. And the second equation we'll have is with B and C. When we add up B and C, again the product is 2AB upon 2A plus B is equals to 15. Oh wow. Now then the time taken by B alone to complete the same piece of work. Okay, with these two equations we need to solve and find the value of B if we can. If you can see that this is twice of, so AB is 12 into A plus B. So if I put this here, I'll have 2 into 12, that is 24 into A plus B is equals to 15 into 2A plus B. Let's have a ratio. 24A minus 30A will give us 6A, and 24B minus 15B would give us 9B. So we have A by B as 3 is to 2. A by B is 3 is to 2. A is 1.5B. So in place of A, if I put 1.5, what I'll get? Let me write it here. So 1.5b upon or into b upon a. 1.5 plus 1 is 2.5b equals 12. B cancel out. 0.5 times 3, 5. 3b equals 60. B equals to 20. Oh, so B alone would be able to complete this piece of work in 20 days. Wonderful. It takes times, na, when we are framing equation and solving. Yes, you are thinking correct. Rule 8, CM rules. Common multiple rules. Can we use it? Let's see. So, what information is there? A and B working together would be completing the work in 12 days. B and C when working together in 15 days. Now it's given that A is twice efficient as C. Then can I say it here, in place of A, can I write 2C and 1B are completing the work in 12 days. And 1B and 1C is completing the work in 15 days. Now if you can see, by just deducting, we can find the value of C. Isn't it? And then when I deduct that C from B plus C, I'll get the value of B. So I'm writing B plus C once again. That is 15, and see how CM rules. From C plus C plus B, if I deduct B and C will get cancelled out. That means I will be left with C. Clear? Then from C, if I deduct B and C and C will get cancelled out. I would be left with B. Obviously minus B will adjust for the signs. So this is also I'm trying to deduct. Now the CM rules. 15, 15 and 15. CM, common multiple, or LCM, whatever comes into your mind directly. Let 180 comes. 180 by 12 is 15. 180 by minus 15 is minus 12. 180 by minus 15 is minus 12. So what I am getting is 24 minus 15. 24 minus 15 is 9. So B would be completing this work in 180 by 9, that is 20 days. Bingo. CM rules rule. Isn't it? A question from TSD, and whatever level of competitive examination or recruitment test you are writing, a question from TSD is a must. You know that. So how I can go without choosing few questions from this particular topic? Let's read this and try to develop something in these kind of questions. A man covered a certain distance is d, at a certain speed is s. So let's time taken be t. T is equals to distance by speed. Had he moved 3 kilometers faster, suppose speed would have been s plus 3, he would have taken 40 minutes less. Okay, time would have been t dash, t minus 40 minutes. 40 minutes is 2/3 of an hour. Again, distance is same. If he had moved 2 kilometers slower, if his speed is s minus 2, he would have taken 40 minutes more. So new time would have been t plus 2 by 3. So from this condition set, what we have, we can frame two different equations. What? D by S minus d upon s plus 3 is 2 by 3, isn't it? Time taken yesterday and time taken today with the speed of s plus 3, I'm saving 40 minutes. So d into s plus 3 minus s is 3 upon s into s plus 3 is equals to 2 by 3. From here we can have the value of d. Okay, first equation. Second, again I can have like d upon s minus 2 minus d by s is again 2 by 3, isn't it? Time taken at 2 kilometers slower speed is more than the normal time by 40 minutes. So d common, s minus minus plus 2 into s minus 2 is equals to 2 by 3 again. Okay, so from here we have the value of d, from here we have a value of d, and these things are same. We can divide it, and if I divide these two, what I'll have, s into s minus 2 by s into s plus 3, this 3 will go up and 2 will come down, is equals to 1. That means we can cancel s. 3s minus 6 is equals to 2s plus 6. S is equals to 12. We have the value of s, and we can put in any one of the equation and find the value of d. So d would be 3 upon 12 into 15, which is equals to 2 by 3. 3 4 times 3 5 times 5 into 4 is 20 into 2 is 40. D is 40 kilometers. A classical question from TSD once again, where if we are well versed with our concept and we know that concept is the queen and queen is the new king. Yes, the speeds of 3 cars are in the ratio 2:3:4. We have the speed ratio known to us. S1 is to S2 is to S3 is 2:3:4. Then what is the ratio between time taken? Yes, correct. Speed and time are inversely related to each other. That means time ratio is nothing but inverse ratio of speed ratio. If we know this, in no time we can find this. Now, how we calculate inverse ratio? A small piece of concept quickly. If I am calculating inverse ratio of A is to B, it is simply B is to A. And if I have more than 2 sets in the variable, A is to B is to C, it is not equals to C is to B is to A. No. It is actually 1 by A is to 1 by B is to 1 by C, which we can remember as B into C is to A into C is to A into B. Okay, so we need inverse ratio of 2:3:4, and if we can remember this, it is B into C, A into C, A into B. B into C is 12, A into C is 8, and A into B is 6. So time ratio is inverse ratio of speed, 2:3:4, that is 12:8:6. Since HCF is 2 in these ratios, so I'll divide this by 2. It would be 6:4:3, and that would be the time taken ratio. Option D. Don't mark 4:3:2. No, this may be the mirror image ratio, but not the inverse ratio. Inverse ratio is 6:4:3, and that is the time ratio. We can use inverse ratio anywhere and everywhere, wherever two variables are inversely related to each other. A machine produces 100 units of a product per minute. Okay, that means in 1 minute, work done is 100 units. This is time and this is work done. If 24 units of a product are packed in one case, okay, this is another situation of work done. How many cases can be filled up in 1 hour by the machine? So it's simply T and W. And T and W are directly related to each other. As we increase the time, the work done will also increase in the same proportion, isn't it? So in 1 minute, 100 units are produced. In 1 hour, 1 hour means what? 60 minutes. In 60 minutes, 60 into 100, that is 6,000 units would be produced by the machine. Now we'll go to the second phase of work done. Second phase of work done says that in one packet or in one case there are 24 units. So 24 units are there in one packet or one case. Then for 6,000 units, how many cases are required? It's simple now. 1 by 24 into 6,000. 6,000, 4, and that will give us 1000 by 4, that is 250 cases are required. So it was a simple unitary method question from time and work. It look like it's from time and work, but it's actually simplification unitary method calculation. Answer would be 250, option B. Now you may ask why I have picked this question in my top 30 questions. Answer is very simple. It's a simple question, but I've seen on many screens people doing mistake in answering. At a first glance, it looks like 2 by 3 and 15 by 2. So 2 cancel out, 15 by 3 is 5. And believe me, many people have marked 5. Either they haven't read the question or they have just seen these values and tried to calculate. But then I force myself, let us read the question carefully and then we'll check whether answer is 5 or something else. Answer may be 5. I've seen many of them marking 5 and I was in no state to help them out, obviously. So let's read the question first. A worker makes a basket in 2 by 3 hours. That means in 2 by 3 hours, that is into 60 if I do, 40 minutes, one work is done. One basket is produced. If he works for 15 by 2 hours, 15 by 2 hours means how many minutes? That is 450 minutes. In 450 minutes, how many baskets can be prepared? So now I'll use that in inverse way. One basket is prepared in 40 minutes. Then in 450 minutes, how many baskets would be prepared? Okay, in 1 minute, he is preparing 1 by 40th part of the basket. So in 450 minutes, he would be preparing 450 by 40 baskets. That is 45 by 4 and not 5. 45 by 4 baskets are produced in 7.5 hours or 450 minutes. I hope whenever an easy question popped in, as we see that it's an easy question, as we think about that it's an easy question, be sure that we are reading in between the lines before we answer. We need to be smart, but we do not need to be over smart or overconfident with our concepts. Simple question on unitary method. I'll say it's a simple question of unitary method, which would have been taught to us in class 6-7. But a question like this is being asked in a recruitment examination, invest few seconds and get the answer correct. Don't mark just like that, because it seems like 2/3, 15, 12, 2, 2 cancel, 3, 5. No. Work it out properly. Simple questions from unitary method. As we have seen, the previous question was also simple question from unitary method. Invest time and come out with 100% results. That's why I've chosen this question in one of my favorite among top 30 questions asked. Let's move on. So what can be a better question than this, which been showcased to end up the top 30 choice of mine as far as your TM aptitude exams were concerned for recruitment of 2021 freshers? And why I've chosen this question? Once again, this is a classical CAT question, and that was the era when these type of questions they used to ask in towards the end of 1990s. No, towards the beginning of 2000, like 1999, 2000. These kinds of questions were there in CAT examination. Let's solve. It's simple, just easy to. It's simple. Just we need to make it easy to understand and solve. Fresh grapes contains 90% water. That means pulp. Obviously, the grape would have water and pulp. Pulp is 10%. Dry grapes contains 20% water. That means pulp should be 80%. From 20 kg of fresh grapes, how many kgs of dry grapes can be obtained? That is x kg. So 10% of 20 kg is how much? 2 kg. So we are getting 2 kg pulp, which should be 80% of x, isn't it? That's it. That's the simple equation we need to fit in. 80% of x is equals to 2 kg. So 80% is 4/5. 4/5 of x is equals to 2 kg. Therefore, x is equals to 10 by 4. That is 2.5 kg. No tiglam, no viglam, no haha boo boo regarding what different processes we can have, blah blah blah. It's a simple ratio comparison question. 10% of 20 kg is 2 kg. That is the pulp. Why we are equating pulp? Because pulp content should be same. Pulp content should be same. Otherwise, this water content will differ. So in 20 kg, if we have 2 kg pulp, in 2.5 kg of dry grapes also we will have 2 kg of pulp and 20% of water. So from 20 kg of fresh grapes, we will get 2.5 kg of dry grapes. I hope all these 30 questions are clear with us now, and these were my favorite. Choose your favorite and put it there in the comment box, and the one which has been voted the most and 2 people who have been chosen the best question out of these 30 would be rewarded with a surprise gift. And you know what would be that surprise? It is a surprise. I'll put it across. Wait for the next. So thank you everyone for being so patient and for being with us for the entire video. And if you have any questions, you know where you can find us. We are always here at mjmagicstudio@gmail.com or at our Telegram channel at 9007221556. You can also catch up with our Instagram stories at @MJStoryteller. We are there at the Twitter with the same name. You are wondering, what about the surprise gift, isn't it? Surprise is not a surprise now, actually. So, yes, the best comment, the best solution, the new way of doing some question, the short way or the good technique, anything will help you get a book, a signed book from us, and that would be delivered straight at your doorstep. So don't forget to comment, do subscribe, and stay connected. Thank you everyone. I'll see you soon. Mohit Jain signing off from MJ's Maths and Stats. That's MJ Magic Studio 2. Thank you.